What's good? We back. It's the Boxing Clinker more. Y'all know what it is. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. Probably gonna sneak in the live video today. I was gonna hook up with one of the homies, but I ain't gonna have no time today. But y'all get in the live video. Solo dolo. But we back talking some boxing. I'm about to double dip real quick in this hour. Lipinets and Mikey Garcia prediction video. Then later on tonight or later on today we get into Ruguru taking on Julius and Dongo. Ruguru is Regis Progress. But, yeah. It's a Danny Jacobs, Jermall, Charlo debate. Now, one thing here. I don't let my personal feelings get involved in nothing really in boxing. Now, if I feel a certain way about a guy, I'll let you know. But it's just strictly from a strategical point of view. Very objective. A lot of people say, oh, you like Charlo, you like Wilder. People, they hear what they want to hear. Especially... I said in one of my videos I did about Danny and Charlo, said several times that I kind of started in favor of Danny Jacobs a little bit, but I think it's close to a 50-50 fight, and the thing about this situation is people say, oh, who is Charlo beating? Who the fuck is Danny Jacobs beating? Let's keep it real. I mean, his best wins is Peter Quillin, Caleb Truex, and Sergio Mora, okay? The Latin Snake. The Peter Quillin fight, Peter Quillin was already over the hill at that point. Peter Quillin was 1.5 feet out of boxing and 0.5 feet, foot in boxing. He already got, beat up by Rosado, and they stopped that fight prematurely to cheat for Peter Quillin. I seen several Premier Boxing Champion fights, in Fishy. Then he fought Sergio Mora. I thought before he rematched him after that, but the first fight, Sergio Mora tore his leg up, whatever, but he dropped Danny Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? However you want to say, he dropped him legit. It wasn't no balance shot. He dropped him. He beat Caleb Truex at the time. He only had one loss at the time, but a lot of people wasn't. It wasn't a big fight. And then after that, Darrell knocked Caleb Truex out in one round. Danny took him 12 rounds to do it, but that was at super middleweight. But like I'm saying, where's this big win in Danny Jacobs' career? Every step-up fight he had before cancer with Pirog, he got knocked out hard. He got beat down real hard. Beat down. And then the Golovkin fight, I thought he won, but at the end of the day, they ain't what BoxRec say, they ain't what the history book said. At the end of the day, he lost that fight. And one thing I do point out about that fight with Triple G, and I made this analogy, and some people in the comment section didn't understand. I said it ain't no budge in Charlo. Either Charlo coming to knock you out, or he getting knocked out. Jacobs, it's a lot of finesse in his game. It's a lot of wiggle in Jacobs' game. And what I mean by that is, you got certain people that's going to either go through you or ain't going to go through you at all. You got certain people that's going around you. If they can go through you, they can go through you. If they can go around you, they'll find a way to go around you. If they can go under you, they'll find a way to go under you. But, that's Jacobs. Charlo is a guy who can box, but he's a guy that he gonna go around. He gonna go around you, bro. He not gonna go around you. He just gonna go through you. He wants to knock you out. And Danny Jacobs showed in the Triple G fight that he fought passive. Even Kenny Porter said it. He didn't go get it. He fought scared a lot of that fight until the end when Triple G energy level dropped off a little bit. He was hitting Triple G and he felt confident. He gained confidence in that fight. He wasn't 100% confident going into that fight. That's why he added on the extra weight. That's why he boxed and used defensive circles and was real tentative. He was real scary in that fight. I ain't scared to say it, but he was winning. He was tapping, he was tapping Triple G, boxing him, hitting him, and Triple G was kind of flustered. You could see at the end of that fight, Triple G thought there was a chance that he'd lose that fight. But Jacobs boxed beautiful, and he has versatility, and that's the positive to come out of that. Does Charlo have that versatility to legitimately box, box 5, 6, 7 straight rounds in a row? He's long. He's known as a power puncher. He wasn't the Charlo brother that had the most, tough fights coming up. Jermall had the tougher fights coming up, but Jermall was gifted with the championship fight first versus K9, and obviously he knocked my Detroit brother clean out. I give him props for that. But you talking about his 3 best wins, is Julian J. Rock Williams. That's when people really hated him because people don't understand the nature of that beast. J-Rock, I give him full credit for that fight. I think J-Rock is a better win than anything on Danny Jacobs' resume. I say that right now because J-Rock, he paid his dues. He wasn't one of those dudes that was gift wrapped to the title opportunity. He fought the tough competition. He fought undefeated fighters. He really beat Hugo Centennial Jr., but they stopped that fight because of a cut or something. Hugo found a way out. He was catching bodies. He did his thing to earn that title shot. Charlo asked for a medical exception. They granted it to him. I guess they didn't get back to J-Rock. They held the fight up. He had Charlo had eye surgery. He said he was fighting legally blind. And J-Rock, his camp was woofing. All they do was woofing, saying he was scared. And this dude squoze down to 154. People forget that. He had grown out that weight class. He squoze down to 154, knocked Julian J-Rock out. Now, if you notice, the Charlos don't say nothing building up to a fight. Jermall was respectful to Erickson Lubin, said he a beast, just like I'm a beast, but I'm going to show him. But when you get to talking that junk, at the end of the fight, after they whoop you, they old school. They going to let you know about yourself, and people didn't like that. And I know Jermall Charlo told Danny Jacobs he's a whole nother type of cancer treatment. And, yeah, that was a little raw, but that's not one of the most rawest things I've ever heard in my life. And Danny Jacobs is a cancer survivor and all that. I feel that, but that's not one of the rawest things I heard in my life. It is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. People want to get mad and sensitive to everything else. I heard boxers say way worse. I sat there and watched, what's the old boy name? Casamayora called Timothy Bradley a nigger or a nigga. Ain't nobody say shit about that, so now they can miss me with that old bitch ass nigga shit. But yeah, then Jorge Sebastian Highland, just for the simple fact, Highland was the #1 WC contender for a long time. He knocked him out in 4 rounds. It is what it is. Austin Trout, people say, oh, he struggled with Austin Trout. Didn't Miguel Cotto lose to Austin Trout? Didn't Canelo struggle with Austin Trout? Wasn't Austin Trout putting Jerry Swift hurt in the pine box until he got tired and her size just took over? So people are real fickle and real picky on how they remember memories. You know what I'm saying? I think the Trout fight is better than any fight that Danny Jacobs had won. But then again, that's your prerogative. People forget. People forget. Austin Trout was always a better fighter than Peter Quillen. He's a better fighter than Sergio Moore. He's a better fighter than Caleb Truex, period. Neither one of those guys have bigger wins than Miguel Cotto. Who went? None of them guys do. But at the end of the day, people hate the Charlos because they're outspoken. They don't want to give them no credit. I heard Box Nation say, oh, they're so boring. We don't want to see them on again. And they say all that stuff. People forget that this stuff has been said. They've been not getting liked. They just wearing the villain role because that's where the universe placed them at. Not people want to get behind Danny Jacobs. But when Danny Jacobs was on Premier Boxing Champions, even after the cancer, people weren't supporting Danny Jacobs. Basically, people started to jump on this Danny Jacobs bandwagon because he's with HBO and Eddie Hearn and stuff of that nature. I'm not saying that people wasn't with him before, but his large audience that he get now, it's always been an HBO or Top Rank versus an Al Hammond Premier Boxing Champion thing. At the end of the day, they can make this fight happen. People say, oh, Jacobs pulled up on him and said this and that. But when Charlo said, let's go outside, Jacobs started talking about money. So you gotta, man, people are real selective in what they want to talk about and what they don't want to talk about. Like I said, I didn't lay my case out there. Danny Jacobs, every big fight, he been knocked out. His chin still suspect. He got dropped by Triple G. When he didn't take too many chances versus Triple G into the end. But it is what it is, man. Young Charlo is a good fighter. People don't want to give him his credit, similar to Deontay Wilder, Earl Spence. It's a South thing. People don't want to give those brothers their credit. And they just going to snatch their respect. And that's the best way to do it. Don't give me your respect. I want to earn it. And if I don't earn it, then I'm going to take it. And then people just going to have to respect those guys if they get in the position and he beats Danny Jacobs. People, what I'm saying? People just want to hate. But that's a good fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I slightly edged to Danny, but I